What is up, everybody? It's Detox here, and I am bringing you something new today. I'm going to use my phone, so hopefully it goes well. And also excuse the mess, because I recently set up a new tank, so it's a little messy. And I did water changes today. So, what we're going to do is just a quick fish tank update, which I have never done before, so this would be the first update. But I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible, because I have some other projects I need to handle today. But I turned the lights out, so hopefully it relieves the glare. I mean, there's still a window, but we'll see. But first on the list is, oh yeah, you can see me, is the tiger barb tank. And as you can see, let's see if I can't try to get me out of the picture. There's 7 tiger barbs in there. This is a 20 long. As you can see, they're happily living. There's also that 2 Cory cats. I know people say you're supposed to have 4, but I really don't have a, well, I mean, I do have a choice, but it's something to help keep the tank clean. Also, they're pretty tough compared to, like, if I were to get an auto cat, because these guys are pretty aggressive, especially when it comes to territory. And I think I recently had one pregnant. Of course, those eggs don't survive unless you pull them out, and I'm not trying to breed them, so they're probably gone by now. But I think I had a pregnant female, so they're very territorial. And of course, these guys have taken a liking to up top there, which is just a fake decor. But I also have a cave system back here, which I might be able to show you. There's 2 PVC pipes just for hiding. That's for both fish, but there is a larger PVC that connects to the wall, and then I just use 2 rocks so the tiger barbs can't fit in there. So that's where I feed the Cory cats their wafers and stuff, so they're well fed, no issues. But everything seems to be going okay. Now I think the eggs have already been eaten, so things have seemed to calm down in the tank. But that is the first tank. The second tank is the one I recently just set up, which is why there is no background. But as you can see, there are neon tetras in there, which are pretty simplistic fish, and pretty much everyone seems to own them. Surprisingly, they were not my first fish, but this one's kind of probably glary because I don't have a background on it. But as you can see, I have just 3 pieces of driftwood compared to the fake piece in there. I believe it looks much better. I did use Eco Complete down here, so there's still bubbles in there because it seems to be still settling. But I recently started using this stuff because of course, as I grow in the hobby, I learn things. But I believe I have one up there who has the bladder infection or whatever. Of course, he came like that. I didn't get to look at them, which is probably partly my fault. But I essentially did kind of get him for free. So I'm not like, I don't want to sound crude. I am, of course, going to try to, I'm probably going to not feed them for a couple days, or at least try to separate that one from being fed. But these ones all seem pretty healthy. But I essentially got him for free. So I don't know, I want him to live because I don't want to have to deal with having to get another one. But essentially there's going to be 15 neons and 4 Cory cats in here. Julie's probably, unless I find something different. I did find a couple rare species at the fish store today, but none of them have 4, so I have to kind of be, I don't want to get them and then, I don't know, I don't want to have to special order them either. So Julie's are kind of at the top of the list, but we'll see. But yeah, they seem to be doing great. They were recently just added. I got all the tank figured out. It's been setting for a little while, and cycling and stuff, so everything seems to be going a-okay. I'll probably add 5 every week or something along those lines, and then maybe Cory cats in the mix of all that. But just on a quick note, I do run all my tanks, because I don't have a fancy automated system or anything, with the Fluval filters. Of course, I take all the media out. I leave the sponge, and I put don't look at my mess, don't look at my mess. the flue ball media. So they're just a lot bigger than what it comes with. What it comes with is like really tiny and not that great. So all these filters are filled. I don't know if I can. Oh, I just dropped. Oh, that's okay. Whew, that freaked me out. It's just the magnet. Oh, I just dropped in it again. Anyway, put that back up there, I suppose. All the filters or all the tanks are run off those. So, and then they all just have. They don't have fancy lights, but I kind of just see if the best way to do it is I zip tied them to the 2x4s, so they kind of don't. They're not like on the lid, but they're just the National Geographic ones that PetSmart sells. So it's not the best lighting, but it's definitely better than some other things. It seems to work pretty well. The plants seem to grow fine. Actually, those are all Amazon swords back there, and they were dying. So I did add some root tabs and the light, because I did have one of the smaller lights, which you can see over there, because it was all I had. So I added the bigger one, which is a 30-inch, which is the size of this tank, and it seems to have greatly helped the plants out. So these ones I'm not as worried about because I have the Eco Complete plus other things to keep them going, so I'm not really worried about that. But anyway, on to the smaller tanks. These are 10 gallons, and these are my beta tanks. Believe it or not, this is my favorite type of fish. I know there's all sorts of different types of fish, but from top 3, probably betas, bala sharks, and honestly I don't know. I know it's like a weird favorite fish, but it's just ones I've always admired. And this is obviously the fish I started with. Well, not this specific one, but this type of fish. But I know I'm going to get some serious hate because, as you can see, there's some cory cats in there, and people are like, well, betas kill other fish. Well, let's be real here. One, if you give them enough space, they're usually going to be okay. Two, if you introduce the cory cats first and then introduce the beta, usually the beta doesn't get to claim its territory and kind of just lives with the fact that there's other fish in the area. And three, if there's already a beta in the tank and you want to add cory cats, well, take the beta out and move the decorations around, and the same thing kind of happens when you introduce the cories first. But I was a little nervous because you read a lot of forums and they're like, well, don't add anything to your beta tank because it's going to kill them. Literally, both my betas have never ever even touched the cories. I've checked the fins countless times. Nothing has ever seemed shocking. I haven't seen any chunks taken out. So I think it really just depends on how your beta takes it. I guess I've been blessed with 2 pretty calm betas. But this is, well, people call it mustard gas. Petco will call it a paradise. Call it what you will. I'm trying to get the light out of there. But when I got him, his back fin was like completely gone, and I've had been to Petco probably, geez, weeks and weeks, and he's still been there. I've always really liked him, but he just got neglected because his fins were shot. But if I can get a good, I don't know if it's going to focus on him, but his fins are starting to finally grow back. Actually, a lot better, and I'll tell you why I think that's happening all of a sudden. Because it's just been recently. I mean, they've been growing back slowly, but recently they've been jumped up. But I'll tell you about that in a second. But as you can see, I have some Malaysian driftwood in there. These are zebra rocks, which are what you will find at Petco. They don't really affect your pH from what I can tell. And then there's just some moss balls. That's Java fern. There's a baby Amazon sword back there that has recently kind of like restarted because I moved it from like 2 tanks, so there was probably only like 3 leaves on it when I got it, or when I pulled it off. Or actually, no, I got it from Petco and I ripped them apart, and I got, multiples, and there was probably only 2 leaves, 3 leaves on it, so they kind of died off, and it kind of just resprouted because I put it into this tank. So I think the substrate, and I think I put a root tab underneath it as well. So it's starting to look on the upward side of things. But and then back here is just another fern. But he seems to really enjoy this tank. And of course there's a ping pong ball up there, but it kind of stuck in the corner. But that's just some wisteria, I believe. And I let that float because if you don't know, even though he's down at the bottom and embarrassing me, betas are usually more at the top of the tanks because in the wild they're searching for insects on the top of the water. So he actually likes to sleep up there because I don't know. But anyway, that's that tank. That's also run by a Fluval, the smaller one, the 30 or whatever it is. But down here is my favorite. But this is Frank, the rose tail beta, which essentially just a half moon, but his tail kind of folds over itself. He's also had a long ride because when I first got him, I've always kind of known how to take care of fish, but I never paid attention to cycling. So I recommend really researching how to cycle your tank and get all that set up before you start fish keeping. So I got a bigger tank because I was like, well, I'm gonna give him a big tank because I'm not gonna give him a bowl. I've read all these stuff. I'm gonna heat it. I have everything I need. Well, then the water turns cloudy one day and I get a bacteria bloom and he's on his side gasping for air. So I freaked out. Luckily Prime saved my life because it changed the ammonia to ammonium or whatever. So he was swimming the next day. So he went through kind of a rough ride. He lost most of his tail. And as you can see, it's grown back tremendously. Of course you didn't see it when it was really damaged, but ever since I moved him, I had him in a 5 gallon, I moved him up to a 10, and ever since the 10 gallon he has been so much better. He also has 2 cory cats in here. You can kind of see him moving in the back. Well, maybe not. They might not come out, but they're just stir-bys. You saw one's tail there, I think. Oh no, that's just like back on the glass. But maybe I go over here. Oh yeah, you can kind of see them. They're back there though. There's 2 of them. Oh, there they are. There's 2 stir-bys in there, and once again, he has never even messed with them. I checked them for like the first 5 days, every day, every hour, because I was so worried about it. Because he was the first to get tank mates. But nope, they're just fine. They're best buds. They swim together. They hit each other. No problems. But just once again, more ferns. I really don't know. It's some type of anubias. It's died off, came back. I don't really know exactly what it's trying to do, but there is a root tab underneath it. It does not have the great substrate, but I set this tank up earlier than when I started using that. But there's just a fake decoration, a big Amazon sword. This is my baby, and then some moss balls, a little place for him to hide if he gets annoyed, and then of course he sleeps up in the wisteria like my other beta, which is named Eric. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as tanks so far. As you can see, I have tons of empty spaces that I need to fill. Because like I said, I was going to talk about Eric, the one up very top. He used to be in this tank, obviously, which is being taken down. But he didn't really swim much. He kind of just hid in the corner. So I was like, whatever. He's just one of those types of fish. But ever since I put him up here, he has been just, well, now he's gone. He's back there somewhere. But anyway, ever since I put him up in here, his fin growth has gotten much greater, and of course he's more active. So I think putting him up here did him a lot of justice. But eventually there'll be another 10 gallon with another betta, and then 2 29 gallon talls or whatever they're called, a 40 breeder, which you're like, that's not gonna fit. I know it's not gonna fit, but I'm gonna make a little outlet there so that it can sit on it, and then probably that will probably turn into a shrimp tank, which will probably go right there. So that's kind of the plans for right now. Anything beyond that, well, oh, there he is. Anything beyond that, I have no idea. But that's kind of an update. I kind of want to do it now because I've been wanting to do it for I don't know how long. But I keep not doing it, so I have all these tanks now. I could have had tons of videos, but of course now that's not possible. So I'm starting now, and hopefully I can update you weekly, or I don't know, we'll see how it kind of works out. But these are the tanks so far, and now you're up to date. So until the next one, talk to you guys later. Peace.